Peggy Patch is out today to find a patch to stop and play. Where will it be? Who will she meet? Has the bus stopped at the end of your street? Peggy stopped in a town today, but part of a town that looks like the countryside. That's because it's a nature centre and animals live here. Why don't you take a look round with Peggy and see if you can spot any animals? There's an animal living in here that's quite difficult to spot in the wild. It's a rabbit. In fact, there are lots of rabbits in here. When a rabbit sees you in the wild, it will thump its back leg to warn other rabbits and then scamper off into its burrow. All you might see is the flash of a white tail. I wonder if I can get any closer. What do you think, Peggy? These rabbits are friendly because they're used to people coming up and looking at them and feeding them. Got some cabbage leaves here, their favourite food. Come along, lunchtime. I wonder if they'll take it from my hand. There we are. He's taking big chunks. Is that good? Can you see him chomping away? Chewing away at his cabbage. There's plenty for all of you. Oh well, there's another piece. What else are they doing? Oh, look at that one having a wash. You can just see its white tail. These rabbits also live in burrows and they've dug lots of holes. Can you see them? Look, you can see where they've dug away at the soil. Anyone at home? Over here is a burrow that the Nature Centre have made. I wonder if anyone's inside. Oh look, there they are. This is the rodent house. The windows are red because it makes the creatures think it's night time, so they'll come out and play and people can watch them. Rodents got sharp front teeth for nibbling and gnawing. What's down here? Mongolian gerbils. Look at them. They're having a great time in there. Can you see them twitching their noses? Who's down here? Oh, these are much bigger. They're called hooded rats, and they do look like they've got a hood on. And there's a baby tucked down in the corner. What's this? It's the house mouse. I think it's house mice. There's lots of them. They're tiny. It looks like under the floorboards. It's a great playground for them. Look, there's a teapot and a milk bottle and a mug, newspaper, even some washing up gloves. Makes it look like a house, the favourite place of the house mouse. Hello, Ken.
Hello.
Must be feeding time. Ken looks after the rodents and knows all about them.
The house mice eat sunflower seeds, corn, hemp seeds, mainly anything. Voles are normally a browny colour, so they can hide very easily. You don't normally get white voles in the wild. If you do, they don't last very long because you can see them very easy, like predators can see them. and they all may get eaten. Voles mainly live in open fields and thickets. The rodents here are being bred by us so that we know how to handle them properly. I wouldn't recommend handling them outside because you don't know what diseases they have.
Peggy Patch's puzzle. Peggy's got some cut-out animals. Can you put them all in their proper homes? So where do they all live? How about the rabbit? What do you think? On a lily pad? On a pond? Don't think so. How about up here? In a nest? No, that's not right. I know where rabbit lives. It lives in a burrow. What's down here? It's the frog. Where does a frog live? In a nest? In the harvest field? Doesn't look right there. I think a frog would be happy on a lily pond. What else is there? There's a little mouse. Now I know a mouse lives in a nest. Up a tree? No. A harvest mouse lives in a nest in a harvest field. So who lives in that nest? Must be the bird. Yes. What's left? It's a hedgehog. So where do you live, hedgehog? In a pile of twigs. It's winter time, so the hedgehog is hibernating, which means he's gone to sleep for the winter. Peggy Patch's Clutter Corner. Peggy's got some paper and card, some tubes and tissues too. Her friends will put it all to use and make a home. For who? Right, and it can slide down that, but it needs to get in the side, doesn't it? So if I just open this bit, open the end of the box, and I'll poke them in. We haven't got much room, have we? We'll move our stairs along. We'll move it all along like that. Maybe it could go up the top here. They're called Russian hamsters. Now they
rush everywhere.
yeah, I think they do. There's two in there. Oh, that one popped out the tube. I didn't know that one was in there. That one went in the tube. Oh, look, he's going to go up. No. Go on, go up the tube.
Oh, look, he can't get out. The other one can't get out. In that tube.
Now he's going to have to turn around and come back the other way.
Trying to get in there.
What's going to happen when they meet at the middle?
Oh, look at that one.
All you can see are bottoms.
That one come out. Oh, that bottom. He can get look, that one in the van. Good, yeah. He can't get out. He's never going to stop eating.
No, he's going to get very fat, that one. Get stuck in all the tubes.
Yeah, come down the chute, come down the chute, come down the chute.
No, it's good. Go on, you can go down the chute.
You can come down the chute. Go on.
Is it going down? There it is!
You got it down.
Peggy's off on a rubbish hunt again.
Pick a bit up, put a bit in, put a bit of litter in the litter bin.
one morning, when Stan, the dustbin man, and the crew were waiting to leave Dumperton Cleansing Department, Mr. Wilkinson, the manager, came over to them with special instructions.
"I've had a call from Miss Monica of Little Uppingham School," he said. "She has found an enormous pile of rubbish in the playground. I'd like you to clean it up."
"How disgusting," said Fran.
"How dangerous," said Dan.
"How interesting," said Stan. For however much he hated people dumping rubbish anywhere, he wondered if there were any useful things in the pile. Stan liked collecting useful things and hoped there might be a strong piece of wood in the rubbish to make a new workbench. Mr. Wilkinson suggested that if they took extra bags and gloves with them, Miss Monica might let the children help. When they arrived at Little Uppingham School, Stan found Miss Monica and a group of children staring at the mess. There were paint tins, tyres, a car seat, a pram, an ironing board, an old door, as well as boxes, bottles and broken pots.
"Why should people want to dump their rubbish here?" asked Stan. "The people of Little Uppingham are usually so tidy." "Sometimes people come in cars and dump things," said Dan. "They're too lazy to go to the tip."
Miss Monica explained what might have happened.
"Oh, All Hedges the gardener, he gathered some clippings and leaves into this corner a few weeks ago, you know, to dry out, ready for burning. Since then, people have added to the pile."
Stan nodded. "They certainly have." Fran just looked and said,
"Wow, this'll take ages to clean up." "Can we help? Can we help?" chorused the children.
"What about your lessons?" asked Stan.
"Well, it might be a good lesson in where not to put litter,"
said Miss Monica. "We have extra bags and gloves in Big Edna's cab," said Dan.
"I'll reverse Big Edna into yard,"
said Fran. Putting on the special gloves, the children picked the small bits of rubbish from the pile and put them in the bags. Stan and Dan moved the larger things. Stan putting the old door to one side to make a new workbench. Fran very slowly and carefully backed Big Edna into the playground.
"Beep, beep, beep,"
she warned as Dan guided her in. They all worked hard, moving the dumped rubbish until they reached the pile of clippings and leaves at the bottom. One of the boys reached out to gather a handful of grass cuttings and drew back quickly.
"There's something in there,"
he cried. Stan carefully parted the cuttings while the children and Miss Monica watched curiously.
"It's something with prickles,"
Stan said.
"It's a little spiky bundle."
"It's a hedgehog," declared the boy.
"It's not moving, is it asleep?"
asked one of the girls.
"Hibernating, I think," said Stan.
"In any case, we mustn't disturb it until the spring."
"Can we keep him? Can we have him as a pet?"
cried the children. Stan gently replaced the grass cuttings and turned to them.
"You can look after him by leaving him undisturbed," he said.
"Hedgehogs need a long sleep through the cold winter. Don't let anyone touch the pile until he wakes up in the spring."
"We won't,"
they promised.
"What about people filling up the heap again?"
asked Miss Monica.
"We'll cover the rubbish with that old door," said Dan.
"And I'll see Mr. Wilkinson about a notice,"
said Fran. Stan helped Dan hide the heap under the old door, knowing that the hedgehog was far more important than a new workbench. When they arrived back at the depot, they told Mr. Wilkinson what had happened, and he saw that a notice was put up straight away. "Strictly no dumping," it said. Stan hoped people would read it and leave the hedgehog in peace.
Peggy has found another creature to say hello to, a large rodent. Say hello to this rodent. A rodent with sharp gnawing teeth, small front feet like hands, who can swim underwater and has a tail like a paddle. It's a beaver. 3 beavers live in here. Beavers don't normally live in this country, but these have been brought to the nature centre to make their home. Beavers are a bit clumsy on land, but very at home in the water. Their nose and ears close up so no water can get in, and they can even chew underwater without swallowing any. They make their homes out of piles of twigs with an underwater entrance, and their front teeth are so sharp they can even chop down trees. Can you see how they've made their home into a dam? That's to make sure the water in the pool is deep enough so they can swim out of their front door. People say when you're working hard, you're as busy as a beaver.
Busy beaver, that's me, busy, busy beaver. When I swim out of my front door, I start without delay. There are trees to fell and dams to build, no time to stop and play. I work and work from morn till night, I beaver away. Busy beaver, that's me, busy, busy beaver. As I build my house or eat my food, I nibble and chew all day. My teeth are long and grow, to gnaw is the only way. So just like all my rodent friends, we beaver away. So now I've told my story, it's as people say. A beaver is busy as busy can be. I don't take a holiday, but I love to swim and paddle and dive as I beaver away. Busy beaver, that's me, busy, busy beaver. Busy beaver, that's me.
Pop it in here. Why is it moving? Oh, it's a pop-up rodent. Shout when you think it's going to pop up. Are you ready? When? Do you want another go? Some nose and some whiskers. When? Last go. When? Oh, there's the bus. Better tell Peggy. Come along, Peggy. Collect up your clutter. The bus is here. Better catch it. Peggy will be off beavering away, collecting more clutter on another patch next week. See you there.
Goodbye.
Bye.